Also, I just stood back from the wall and this bird is huge in comparison to everything, but he's also supposed to be in the forefront. So that makes a difference. Also, I will say that I am not doing things to scale. I definitely never paint from scale. I definitely always try to make things kind of like chaotic. I think one of the mural that I showed when I was talking about starting this mural has a chameleon on it, and the chameleon is like bigger than me. So scale is not a thing that I do. And the nice thing is if I've decided that his like breast, his chest is too big to make him look right, then the branch that I put on there, I can use some of that and like redo this area. So I am not afraid of mistakes because I'm just not. All right, so remember earlier when I was like, nothing is one color. So even though our little bird has what looks like black feathers, black is always going to have shades of like blue and green, so we're going to add a little blue. And it's just kind of like the shimmer of feathers. Because everything in nature has so many colors. I'm just gonna give our guy a little bit of shimmer on the feathers. Like even a little bit of white, because like the shine. And if you're painting something like feathers, you just want to mix your colors. Because again, nothing is one solid color, ever. Also, speaking of birds, so this used to be a bar, and we have a vent over the area that used to be the grill, and there are birds living in it. And I took the whole thing apart the other day to make sure that they weren't trapped, and they weren't, yay. I was real scared for a minute. Also, I don't switch my brushes. I use 1 or 2 brushes, and then I have this apron and the clothes that I wear specifically to paint in. And when I switch to a different color, I generally just make it on my apron. Okay. So our bird breast is white. then his little wing is over the breast. So you give it kind of a shadow. So we're just gonna come in with the gray and mix it, like blend it a little bit with the white. Pull that back, like blend it, and just go over and over and over again until you get like a nice shadow. And then I can come back in here with the white and blend it right up to the shadow. And I'll go back over this where the gray is, because again, didn't switch my brush. Oh, thank you. I'm literally modeling Bob Ross, because he just talked, or he talked the whole time he painted. So then go back where we created the shadow. And then, obviously, I'm gonna wipe the paint off on my apron and then just kind of blend that dark line in. And so we've got our little wing over the shadow of the bird breast. So, and then we're gonna fix that wing up a little bit, give it the shimmer, the blue-green shimmer. Like, think about it, like if you've seen a bird in the wild and it's black, there's always like a little bit of shimmer to its wings. So that's what we're doing there. Okay, back to our reference photo. Okay, so this is a woodpecker. And again, I believe it is a flicker. So flickers have red heads. So we're gonna start with orange. And also I'm paying attention to my reference image and which way the feathers are going, and just kind of modeling that with my brush. And also, I don't think any of you are here for perfection, but if you are, you're going to be disappointed. We are not going for perfect. We are just going for fun. Like, let's have fun. Let's learn about the various woodpeckers. Okay, see, so as I said, I was an intuitive painter. So that means I let the wall and the paint tell me where to go. So with this, and I already knew that this bird breast is too big, but like as I was moving the brush and looking at my reference image, it was like, yes, this bird breast is too big. So where this orange red part is here, that's where we're gonna pull the bird breast back. And then the branch that I put the bird on will obscure some of this white that I already painted. So it's fixable. Everything is fixable. Everything, I think Marie Forleo says everything is figure-outable. Yeah, we are not worried about anything that we screwed up in this painting. Not even a little bit. Also, given that I have never painted a flicker before, a northern flicker, which is what we think this is, whatever I come up with, I'm going to be proud of. So we've got our orange, and then we also have some shine from the sun hitting the feathers. So we are going to add just a little bit of shine here. Our feathers are, the sun's hitting our feathers like right under where we're going to put its eye. now we're gonna go in with some red. And some people at the beginning of the video mentioned something about what color paint or what kind of paint I was using. And this is just craft paint. This is just cheap craft paint, you know, the kind that you can buy at like a craft store for 50 cents, a small bottle. So I use that and I mix it with primer and I mix it with water, and then I will coat this whole mural in a clear acrylic when I'm done to protect it. Since we're trying to mimic like feathers here, we're not doing any strong brush strokes. We're just kind of dabbing. And we'll do several coats of this. That is the one thing about craft paint, is it's not really thick. But that's okay, because what we're doing requires a lot of layering because of the different colors we want to come through. So I mentioned I use my hands all the time. So a really nice way to blend is just with your fingers. Don't be afraid to get some paint on your hands, because I want to spread this like dark color out in the area where my bird's eye is going to be. And I have found one of the best ways to get that blending, that like subtle blending, is to use your hands. Thank you so much. I love the painting too. She's coming along. So yeah, just gonna blend with my fingers there. And then we have a darker part here where the beak is gonna be. So we'll just use that a little darker. And spreading into the beak, because our flicker's beak actually looks like a white gray. So we'll just move this way a little bit. Okay. All right, so then we're gonna put the eye, and then we'll actually build more feathers around the eye. So scratch that. Let's go ahead and do the beak and build the eye around the beak. All right, so our bird's beak is gonna come right here, and they're long. And I'm guessing they're long because woodpeckers have to peck into trees to get all their bugs out. So they need a nice long beak. And by all means, if there's a bird expert hanging out that can give us some insight into Central Illinois woodpeckers or Midwestern woodpeckers, I am all ears. If my husband were here right now, he would be able to tell you so much. But he's not here right now because he is in Chicago picking up, you guys are gonna die, he's picking up a turtle that he got when he was a little kid, and then ended up giving it to his uncle when my husband went to college. He gave the turtle to his uncle to take care of. That was over 20 years ago. This turtle is like 40 years old, and it's now moving into our house. And I'm so scared because I don't know how to take care of a turtle. I'm sure we'll figure it out. But anyway, we're getting an old man turtle. So James is driving to Chicago to go pick up the turtle, which is why he is not here to offer any insight into Midwestern woodpeckers. Also, one of the things that's hard about murals is when you're like right up on it, it's really hard to see what you're doing, like to know what it looks like. So I got to step back and give it a look. And I'm actually pretty pleased. That's actually not awful. Also, these walls are super textured. And a textured wall, when we're talking about what one pays for a mural, somebody had commented recently, they were like, what does it cost to paint like a residential mural? And I can't speak for any other muralist except for me, but the wall matters. This is not a flat wall. This is a super textured wall, and they are harder to paint. They take a little more time, and that matters. And so if I were going to give somebody a quote for a mural, the texture and condition of their wall would matter. And again, I'm only speaking for myself. But like some walls are super, like if they haven't been primed, they're really absorbent. They're just going to suck all the paint up. All right, so it looks like our guy has, again, like I said, it's like a grayish white beak. And so we've got some gray in here. And so I put a little bit of paint there, and then I'm gonna wipe off most of my paint on my apron and just blend that in because it's pretty subtle. It looks like we're getting like a shadow there on the beak from our reference image. Whoops. Yep, that's okay. No such thing as a failure in painting a mural. Everything can be corrected. It's just paint. It's just paint. Also, now that I am looking at our guy's beak, I'm seeing like just the slightest hint of blue. So I'm gonna add a little bit of blue into the bottom of the beak. Just like the barest bit. And then at the end of his beak, I don't know why we've decided that this is a he, but apparently I've decided it's a he. So at the end of its beak, it's dark in this image, so we're gonna darken it up a little bit. Also, I've been obsessed with naming everything Gary lately. Don't know why, but maybe it's because my dog's favorite toy is named Gary. But somebody on Threads, I was on Threads, I'm a fish scientist because of course I follow a fish scientist. I follow more than one fish scientist. But a fish scientist posted a picture of a frogfish, and they were like, what kind of fish is this? And I think they wanted everybody to say frogfish, but obviously I was like, it's Gary, because I'm naming everything Gary. Anyway, all of that to say, this little bird is Gary, because of course it is. All right, so it looks like we've got some darkness right here. Also, I don't know if you can tell, but there's like a huge divot right where I'm trying to paint Gary's eye. Using our fingers again to get that just like subtle blending. And again, it's just paint. There are no mistakes. can always keep painting. All right, my guy Gary. We're gonna do his eye, and I'm seeing just like a little bit of yellow. So give me a minute while I go grab. Because remember we said that nothing is just one color. So when I'm looking at Gary's eye, and it looks like just a big black eyeball with like some shine off of it, but there's actually so many colors. So we're gonna give the outline of this eye. And is this paintbrush small enough? Okay, so his eyeball is set back from his beak a little bit. Right in that divot. Ugh, makes painting really hard. All right. More round. More round. Here we go. Good. I'm gonna go up just a little bit here. Okay. Thank you so much, Renee. I appreciate that. Again, it's always hard for me to tell when I'm right up on it what it's looking like. All right, so Gary's got, all right, I need to get a different brush. This is not doing what I want it to do. Okay, so I hate to do this to you because obviously Gary is still a work in progress. Actually, you know what? Forget it. We're gonna stay on here. We are moving to TikTok at 11:30. So I'm gonna at least try to get a little more work done on Gary before we move over there, because I feel like that's just not fair to, also I don't wanna stop working on him. Okay, so anyway, our reference photo is saying that Gary has a very dark eyeball. Thank you so much for the compliment. That's so sweet. Thank you. So we're gonna give Gary's eyeball, we're gonna make it black, and then we'll add the eye shine once the black dries. Now, as I'm looking at the reference photo, this skin around Gary's eye is a little bit wrinkly. So we're just gonna add some barely visible wrinkles in this light color around Gary's eye. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and fill in with the red again. Looking for the right brush. Also, if there's any artists watching, you are probably like me, like we all have our favorite brushes, like the favorite angles of our brushes. So I've got some of mine. All right, so going back in with the red, and I'm gonna add orange again. And then we're gonna come around Gary's eyeball. And again, just small strokes because they're feathers, and feathers have a lot of texture. And so we don't wanna do like solid colors. We want many colors. So we've got some orange. Let's throw a little bit of yellow in there for good measure. We'll just blend it in. So our reference image has a lot of light hitting Gary right about here. Throw a little bit of white in there. Add the red, blend it in. There we go. Yellow, yellow. Oh, Gary, you are looking good. Also, this means I have to come up with names for the rest of my birds because I cannot call them all Gary. It just doesn't work. He's got a lot of light around his eye, so we'll mix in the yellow here. Because that's the light hitting our fine feathered friend. Birds have an extra cone in their eye so they can see more colors. So I love that fact. I thank you for sharing that fact. That's amazing. I think my husband might have told me that before, but I'm so happy to know that and that you just shared it with everybody. All right, let's give Gary some eye shine. So we're just gonna follow the curve of Gary's eye. Also, do you want to know how wild the universe is? So this building that I'm in used to be a bar. And I know this because it used to be a bar that I owned. I never owned the building, but we owned the business in the bar. And when life got really hard for me in this bar, I started painting murals on the walls inside to make me feel better. And then when we sold the business, I painted over all of the murals. Because for reasons. And it felt good. It was super cathartic. So it's crazy to me to be back in this building painting murals on the wall. Exactly like I probably always should have been. Like, it's such a full circle moment. And I love it. All right, Gary, let's give you a big eye shine right there. Eye shine matters. You can see eye shine matters so much. All right, so Gary, our fine feathered friend, also has a lot of light hitting the top of his head. Let's get the red in there. All right, Gary, give you some light. Get some light down here too. A little shimmer, a little feather shimmer for you. Again, hands to blend, always. I'm not mad about how Gary's turning out. Gary's looking good. Aw, thank you so much. give Gary a little bit of a shadow under his beak. Let's blend with our fingers. See, our reference photo is showing some shadows here, which would make sense because these are different feathers sitting on top of Gary's breast. So let's add some shadow. And again, blending with our fingers because our fingers are our favorite blending tool. And we're gonna pull some white in there. Blending again. Beautiful. All right, let's give some more red back here. Oh, somebody placed an order. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. We are having a website restock at 4 p.m. today. I feel like I've said that a lot. But yeah, just want to let everybody know because I'm very excited about some of the jewelry that we have made. Actually, I'm sorry. I'm very excited about all of the jewelry that we've made. But some of it I'm like super excited because it's some new techniques and that always matters. So. All right, friends, I am going to take a brief break and then I am going to head on over to TikTok and go live at 11:30. And then when I'm done over there, I will cease working on the mural and I will be back next Sunday at 10 a.m. to continue our process. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you join me next week. I am very excited for all of the live mural work. Thank you. Oh, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. It's this is super exciting. I love it. I'm so happy to be doing this. So yeah, I'm gonna head over to TikTok if you want to join me over there. Same name at Love Hey Lula. I'll be on for about an hour to an hour and a half, just kind of depending. And then, like I said, I am going to stop painting because this entire mural is being done live because we are calculating our costs and sharing that with the world so that people understand that art has value and artists deserve to make a living. So thank you for being here. Thank you for the bird facts, Mushroom Village Witch. I appreciate it. And yeah, if you want to keep watching, head on over to TikTok. I will be there in about 15 minutes. I hope you all have a good day.